Now I'm joined by CBS News political contributor Ashley Etienne. She is also the former communications director for Vice President Harris, so she has a unique perspective. And Ashley, tell me your impressions of this night one of the convention and what you've heard so far.
Well, I can tell you that the energy is incredibly electric, not just within the building, but outside the building. Everyone I've run into, from elected officials from across the country to delegates to people who are just travel into town with no other objective other than to just be in this sphere, in this space. Everyone is incredibly excited about the possibilities of Kamala Harris's candidacy, excited about where the party is right now, and an enthusiasm, the momentum behind her. So it's incredibly electric, and everyone's very excited, so I'm excited about it.
And when I saw you first this evening, you were remarking on the fact that there has been a focus, at least in night one, what we've seen so far, on Black women. Was that a conscious choice? Tell us more about that.
Absolutely. I've been hearing the rumblings and the murmurs inside the party for some time now that there was going to be a huge focus on Black women. This is sort of a full circle moment for Black women. You know, there was an opening moment where they focused on Fannie Lou Hamer, who argued for Black participation within the Democratic Party, asking, are we the Democratic Party? Meaning, why aren't we more inclusive? Why aren't you including Black people? There was a focus on Dorothy Height, Shirley Chisholm, who's the first woman to actually run for the presidency. So the point that's been made tonight is that this is a full circle moment. Black women were the first to argue that Biden should put a woman on the ticket and then lean in, suggesting and insisting to some degree that it should be Kamala Harris. They were also the first to organize when there were questions about whether or not Joe Biden could continue and actually continue in the presidency and run for president. They were the first to start organizing around Kamala Harris, and they were the first to hold a call with 40,000 women from across the country. And they kicked off all of these other calls that started to happen and created the momentum behind Kamala Harris. So they've been the wind at her back at this entire moment. So there's been a focus on acknowledging the work of Black women to really make the party rise to its full ideals.
And, you know, Black women are such an important base in this party that President Biden made a promise that he would nominate a Black woman as vice president.
Yeah, and it's because of that insistence. I mean, I think over the past 10 or so years, Black women have been sort of recognizing and their own power in this party, and acknowledging that we are the very core in the essence of this party. We deserve not just a vice president, but a Supreme Court justice and all of these other positions, because now it's our time. We've been the backbone of this party long enough. The party now owes us to give us a seat at the table, and that's what they've been demanding. And this is the full circle moment where Kamala Harris is going to be at the head of that table.
First Black female nominee. Now, I want to ask you about something. I talked to Cedric Richmond earlier tonight. He worked in the White House with the vice president, as you did.
Yeah.
And he said that because she is the first Black female vice president, the first female vice president, that they did struggle to try to figure out how to position her, how to sell her. Was that something that you witnessed firsthand?
Absolutely. You know, I've worked for the two most powerful women in American politics, Nancy Pelosi and Kamala Harris. I've been fortunate enough to do that. And when you work for a woman leader, the first order of business is positioning them. To not just for them to understand and realize their own power, but that power has to be expressed. And how you express that power has to be very intentional. And that's from, you know, big things like posture, words they use, the angles at which, you know, photos are shot, you know, all these layers.
Policy assignments.
Policy assignments. Assignments that actually are achievable, right? Not getting bad assignments. All of those things, positioning them substantively, you know, all of those things are important. So I think Cedric Richmond's absolutely right. I think the benefit that she's been able to have is this incredible record from being the first Attorney General, U.S. Senate. She's the most prepared person to go into that office. So I do agree with him, but there's probably very little positioning at this point that she needs to actually do. But when we were with her the first year, that was a really major focus, is how do we demonstrate and convey to the world that the woman could be in that particular position, and it could be Kamala Harris, and she could have the top job.
When there's no script, there's no playbook.
No, absolutely not. No, but there's do's and don'ts, obviously. I mean, there's been a lot of, you know, Hillary Clinton tried it, obviously, so there's lessons learned from her. But when you do this job in terms of communications, you take from all these powerful women, Michelle Obama to Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, and then you incorporate that into the lessons learned for Kamala Harris.
Ashley Etienne, fascinating perspective. Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
having
We'll be
me.
talking again. Appreciate it.